smiling and saying, here you go. But it really has been a great year, and I really appreciate the leadership that Lee has given me throughout this year as she trained me to be president, and through all of the phone calls and emails and every other form of communication that's out there. She still managed to call me, and we've managed to discuss issues, no matter how late on a Sunday night it was. But I'll never forget the training, Lee. I really appreciate your leadership this past year, and I look forward to you staying on board this year. Through your new role. Well, good evening and welcome. Tonight I stand before you as the 117th President of the Missouri Association of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons, and I am proud to join that long line of leaders starting with J.D. Hofsis in 1898 and all the others, including the past presidents, and who gather at our banquet table to celebrate the leadership that has made this association great. While it is my pleasure to welcome all of you this evening, I would like to take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us and join me in a moment of silence to recognize those members who can no longer dine at our banquet table. I'd like to start by saying that I believe it is true that real leaders are only as effective as the people that they surround themselves with. And I would like to thank a lot of people for giving me the tools to be successful in this position. So first, on behalf of the entire membership, thank you to our tireless staff at the central office for preparing a wonderful convention in addition to offering us first-class support all year long. I am also fortunate to have a long list of people who believe in and support me, but recognizing all of them might prevent us from being in this room tonight. Therefore, I would like to quickly recognize a few important individuals who have been there for me and always will be. I'm grateful to my wife, Dilian, and my kids, Allie and Lauren. Thank you. You are my heart, and you are my home. Thank you as well to my parents-in-law, my brothers and sisters-in-law, who are all here with me tonight, and there are many others, of course, but to everyone, I say thank you. Ralph Nader once said, "The function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not followers." As confident as I am in our association and as proud as I am to be your current president, I am even more confident and proud that there are many of you sitting among us tonight who will eventually take my place and lead the charge for MAOPS, even if you have yet to recognize exactly what it is you bring to the table. MAOPS is your association, a professional leadership organization, and as members, it is up to each of us to become leaders for other members, for our colleagues, and for our profession. So tonight, as your president, I'm going to ask you to consider what it means to be a leader in our association. Although talking about MAOPS and what it does as part of the bigger picture, leading isn't just about talking the talk. It's also about walking that talk and representing what it is you are striving for in others. In order to be a good leader, you have to have experiences both good and maybe not so good. To become a leader, you may have to struggle, you may have to follow others and go around, up, and over many roadblocks. Remember medical school? Think about that amount of dedication, hard work, and commitment. And I'd like to share for you a relevant story about my interview process to go to medical school. The night before my interview at Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine, now ATSU, that was a particularly treacherous winter's night in January of 1995. My mother helped me pack my suitcase, and as most mothers do, gave me a big kiss on the forehead. She stood at the door and wished me luck as she watched my father and I get into that car and start making our long, what was supposed to be a 4-hour journey down Highway 70 from St. Louis to Kirksville. Along with the avalanche of nerves I was experiencing, there was a snow and ice storm that night along Highway 70. weather reports were telling us to turn around and go home. The windows were nearly covered with ice and snow, and I could see other cars stopped on the side of the road. We were blinded by the flashlights and numerous tow trucks helping pull others, less fortunate drivers embedded in the snowbanks. I was overcome by feelings of despair and kept asking myself, how much is too much to get into medical school? Was I really willing to risk my own life as well as my father's? And just as I blurted out loud, my father turned to me and said, no excuses, you're going. His words gave me all the reassurance and support I needed, and by gosh, we made that 4-hour trip in only 8.5 hours. Because of the weather, only 3 of the 8 candidates actually made it to the interview that Wednesday, and we all got accepted. I was ecstatic, a little ignorant of the struggle that was really just beginning, but again, we made it. It wasn't until I met a physician, who I now call a mentor, that I really learned what it means to be a patient advocate and to be a leader. Dr. Timothy Jennings introduced me to the idea of joining MAOPS, and I became a member, and for the next 10 years, I sat on the sideline, I listened, I followed, I paid my dues, and I belonged. Then one day, my mentor gave me a challenge. In so many words, he dared me to do better and to get in line one day to be president of this wonderful organization. I'll admit, the challenge scared me, but leadership is all about stepping up to a challenge, even if it means stepping out of your comfort zone. And this was an opportunity to grow and to lead, and Dr. Jennings knew before I did, he even knew better that I would be a leader. So what's the moral of the story? Like Dr. Jennings, I can now spot all types of leaders in this room. Each of you has the potential to bring gifts to the table, and I stand before you to ask you to bring those gifts to the table. So as Dr. Petrie always used to say, so we are not on the menu. Author John Maxwell said that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I want to share with you what I think our leaders have done. Our leaders completely understand what's at stake. Our leaders have realized the importance and necessity of MAOPS in protecting our profession and our patients' health care. And they set an example that leadership is the capacity to translate that vision into reality. So this year I ask you, join me in my quest. Join me and continue to lead this journey of this profession into these exciting and uncertain times. Join me to leading the way towards the radical change to our residency educational system and change the scope of healthcare in areas such as tort reform, both nationally and locally. Join me in leading the way to help change the way that third-party payers as they go from volume-based to value-based care. And help me to lead the way of more changes that are almost too numerous to count. After all, this is our profession, and these are our patients. You, your office staff, and the teams we create to deliver affordable and effective health care and protecting that thing we hold most dear, which is the physician-patient relationship. If you look at our leadership team, there is no reason that we should be upset as someone pushes us around on the playing field of the Missouri legislatures. And we will not be stopped by apathy, we will not be stopped by ignorance, and we will not be stopped by self-interest. Sure, we're going to lose some along the way, and we're going to win some along the way. But the point is you keep on fighting. So tonight I'm calling on all leaders, past, present, and future. Help me to lead the fight and to fight the good fight on behalf of all of us, our patients and our profession. And let's lead Missouri into this next 5 years of healthcare reform and set an example to the states around us and what it means to shape the future of healthcare. And hopefully this message will echo across this great nation of ours. In closing, if you remember nothing else I say, please remember the words of Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We are leaders. Thank you.